Hey, how's everybody doing? We've got Hypercarry Odin versus H Diddy here in round 1 of the weekly tournament. This time S tier and below gods. So a lot of gods open. It's a new, I don't want to say new meta, but it's a lot of changes that have been introduced to Duel because of the mid-season patch. So I figured I'd give another one of these tournaments a try. They went well the last time. I think S tier is a good place to be at. Already a good amount of variety in these picks. I feel like the higher tiers actually allow for more diversity than the lower tiers, which I always hoped that with the lower tiers, more people would just go for like preference picks within them. But there's always like that one or two gods that are just a little too dominant in their tier. They're too good in their own tiers, but not good enough to be in other tiers. That's what makes things awkward. But yeah, let's shake it up here with this kind of format. And we got Maserati's casting with us.
Hello, how's it going? So, interesting matchup we got right here. We got Odin versus Jing Wei. So, starting off, who do you think wins this matchup?
I think it's got to be Jing Wei. The only problem is that she doesn't have an escape for the cage, right? Even with her...
She has her ult.
Yes, okay. I was going to say that, but I was going to say, man, only with her normal abilities, what I had in my mind was, you know how she knocks herself up with the wind and then she flies? Like, it would be sick if she could actually fly out with that, because she should be able to get high enough, I feel like, but it wouldn't actually count, right?
No, that's not how that works.
but based on physics and just, like, you know, shecommon sense, it should, but... Let's see if she even tries. I would try for it. Oh, wow. She might be dead here already. Oh, the nice... Oh, I love that. Great use of the wind knock-up ability to ensure she gets out there. But this man doesn't care.
The tower dive coming in early. Level 5 tower dive and lives anyway. Creep's not doing enough damage to kill.
Yeah, Hypercarry Odin, man, you know, living up to his namesake. He picks the Odin in the first round here. I wonder if he'll... Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Might have underestimated the Jing Wei's potential to get back here, but with that shield, he should be out. That's very potent at this point. She doesn't have much damage. Damn, that's unfortunate for the Jing Wei. That's that one like comeback kill you really want. But, I mean, she's Jing, so she has the opportunity to say, hey, I can go late game here, and I can take this as long as I slow down the pace of this match.
She did run 2 of her autos in her 2 buff as well, and if any of those critted, I think that would have been a dead Odin, so not quite lucky enough, unfortunately, for the Jing Wei, but as you said, the later this game goes on, the easier it does become for HDD on the Jing Wei, so I expect her to play very defensive from now on.
Yep, exactly. So Hypercarry Odin picked up the Bluestone boots, you know, just wants that absolute... heavy clear and poke and just burst opportunity with that. Figure it's the right idea for him. A lot of people like to go Death's Toll on gods that are even more burst heavy in the early game. Well, what's your take on that, Maseratis? Because I see people go it even on like Kamazots. I see them go it on even like Uller.
See, it makes sense on some gods, especially any ADC or Kamazots in particular, because he has AoE auto, so he can proc that Death's Toll passive very easily. But on Odin, generally you're just kind of jumping on the wave and one-shotting it, so you don't get the opportunity to auto-attack it too much. So for me, it makes more sense. You'll want to maximize your early game just by getting that Bluestone pendant online.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. Yeah, the Death Toll really does help in the long term, especially even going into that mid-game having more. It's almost like having a Chalice where you're getting a little bit more health off of each wave and allowing yourself to stick around longer. So yeah, it definitely makes sense, and... in this particular scenario, though, like you said, Odin being such an early game centric god, you just want to be able to go all in for that. I've really liked H Diddy's counterplay in each of these situations, though, recognizing exactly what he needs to do. He made sure that he didn't panic ult as soon as the Odin ulted. Instead, he dashed over to the far side of the cage and then ulted out, make sure that he got the maximum distance. He seems very level-headed in this match, even though he kind of just like got caught out and didn't realize that Hypercarry Odin would take the option of diving in there for that first blood.
Something to note as well, HDD has gone to the Aegis Pendant as his first active, and that will be up the next time Hypercarry Odin decides to cage him. So perhaps between the active usage and also his ultimate, each being on an alternate cooldown, maybe you can use those to escape the cage and not die.
Yeah, I can see this being very rough for Odin as the game goes on, because the more she has that Aegis, especially when it's like upgraded, she's gonna have that Aegis up a lot more. And her ultimate, she's not gonna go for any cooldown in her build, or at least I highly doubt she is. Normal ADC build doesn't have any of it in it. So I doubt we'll see that. So her ultimate, I'm sure, will be on a lower cooldown. I mean, on a higher cooldown than Odin's, as Odin will, as you see, already be rushing into some cooldown. But with that Aegis combined, you're right, exactly. She should be able to just cover all her options there and make sure that she's never really in too bad of a spot.
Agreed. On the other hand, the Odin has gone for a horrific emblem as his active choice. Now, something to note for the HDD on the Jing Wei hasn't gone for a sprint, so in the early game, that slow will be very prevalent.
Yeah, oh, definitely. That's one of the scariest things when you run up against a horrific emblem, as a especially as gods without escapes. Luckily, H Diddy's got plenty of escapes under his belt with the dash, the knock up to deter the enemy, and his own ultimate. But yeah, gods without, or just any god in general, running into that horrific emblem, once their escapes are down, you're pretty much just done. So he's got to be mindful of that and be very careful. That's pretty much what did him in for the first blood.
Cage just come out, but HDD just ults in response, and that'll be a stalemate.
Yeah, that's the most frustrating thing for an Odin in positions like these. Like, you pick Odin, you're like, yeah, I'm going to cage some people, I'm going to get him. As long as they don't have jumps, like you see somebody like Jing Wei and your heart leaps because you're like, oh yeah, buddy, it's time. It's time to be caging her and no jump to get out of this shit. And then you realize, okay, she's actually got the ult every time. But, I mean, I can go for cooldown, so that's fine. And then she picks up Aegis, and you're like, okay, my ult is literally almost useless. So that's what makes it really hard, because without the ult in play for Odin, he doesn't have much else. His Bird Bomb combo with the shield does a tremendous amount of damage, but it's incredibly hard to land consistently, and it's also just it's a one-trick pony kind of thing. It doesn't actually, if it doesn't kill them, because it's not the early game anymore, they're building protections, it doesn't really get them that much mileage going deeper into the fight.
I agree completely. So HDD, he's got into an Ickfo. Now this item did see some adjustment in the latest patch, and it no longer has as much power taken away from the enemy, and you no longer get as much. The attack speed has been reduced, and the power you gain has been reduced. So, what do you think of this item? Still like insta pickup for ADCs, or do you think it's situational now?
Alright, before I talk about that item, H Diddy definitely just bounced hyper carry Odin out of his own cage during that exchange under the tower, and then was so giddy about it that he jumped back into his wing gust, or not wing gust, I forget what the fuck that item is, whatever that is called. Oh wow, missed that even with the horrific in play. Yeah, that's not, you can't afford to do that. I mean, he's got to make use of everything he's got in this early game. But yeah, he just started jumping into his wind over and over again to knock himself up, just to kind of troll it out. But yeah, so Ickfo with the change, I honestly got to admit that I haven't been entirely sure of where the build path should go yet. The change is so recent, and Ickfo is such a staple item that it's hard to tell, because the nerf seems like it's significant and also not, because the item is still very strong in and of itself. And me, I'm also never the the absolute like mathematical analyst in these kinds of cases. When it comes to stats by themselves, I'm never the one to actually say like, okay, usually I'll do like more of like inspection of the builds based on viability in like what they're giving you, and when it comes down to just number changes, yeah, that's when it really messes with me. So I'm waiting it out, Maz. I'm waiting it out on these, because it's a tough one.
He has gone into an Assy as well, which is another recently buffed item. But
yeah, that item, that item I
out.
got some insight in, because I think Assy is in a fantastic place right now. A lot of times, ADCs are in a position where they don't want to go Devos because they don't want to get snowballed over when they're already behind, and that's definitely the case here for HDD. Already down 1k, not 1k, I'm sorry, 600, and he doesn't want to get further behind. Here he could probably afford the Devos, in all honesty, so this might not be the position for the Aussie. I'd rather see the Devos, given that he's going late game anyway here. Ooh, this is close. No, couldn't find the final auto. But yeah, so that item gives a lot of opportunity for ADCs in general, and it also opens up potential for the Transcendence build as well. Hypercarry not realizing that this red buff is up, instead checking over the blue buff wall, and might find himself caught out.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Jing Wei's passive coming in handy right there. The knockup does apply and dashes into.
Oh, but is it the counterplay here? He doesn't have much damage yet, so it's gonna be tough. Yeah, horrific. So less auto attack speed right now for H Diddy. He's got the Aussie proc, but he doesn't want to fight into that shield.
He did knock himself up to give him additional...
Right, yeah, he should be able to take it with that. And there's no mana on the side of Hypercarry Odin. H Diddy does not want to allow him out of this position. Wow, he had enough for the shield, though. Ooh, he's got to be so careful. And should be it. Wow, good autos at the end there. He missed one, but other than that, followed his pattern very well. H Diddy looking real good right now. It's got some big signs of life, and it's scary now for... Kuzen, what is his clan? Kuzen's Kappa crew. All right, so it's looking rough for the boy of Kuzen's Kappa crew as this god starts to come online and his starts to really fall off. That one really big missed engagement where he had the bird bomb on him with the horrific on applied and he missed it. And I think that was like one of the crucial. There's always like that one crucial play that if you misplay as the lower tier god in these scenarios, that's like the throw play. You know that you just fucked up and there's no way to really redeem it. You can try your best and just keep throwing yourself at them, but they're starting to get more and more online now because of the missed opportunity, and yeah, it's rough.
HDD does get his second active online, which is a Phantom Veil as well, allowing him to walk through player-made objects. So another tool for him to escape from the Odin cage.
Yeah, there literally is no Odin cage at this point. It's very funny. I never see somebody go Phantom Veil against Odin as gods that like can already get out of it naturally. Usually if you're like a Ra or something, in Duel, God forbid you're Ra in Duel. If you're, maybe doing a sub request or maybe just like Ra, like NShadow and, the cool people of Duel. But, the gods that don't have escapes might go into that. But in this case, this man is just saying, like, listen, I'm completely negating your only useful ability at this point.
So Hypercarry Odin's build, he's gone for 3 consecutive defense items.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the right build path for him, because I don't know that he's gonna. Oh yeah, as you can see, he's starting to just get shred through with this Executioner. Each auto doing so much damage now that it's fully stacked. Oh man, it is just so painful. He's looking for this still, but the shield comes out very nice.
Yeah, he lands all of those autos, but just not enough right here. But this is a Jing Wei at level 14. This is nowhere near her late game form. She's still got a defense items come online and another item, and she's already doing so much damage. So things are looking rough for Hypercarry.
Yeah, exactly. And with the passives on her, with a passive on her 3 and 1, she's just got so much lockdown potential and chase, and she's got those innate steroids as well that just help her in the 1v1 fight. So she scales incredibly well into the late game as well. So yeah, definitely not something you want to be facing down, and especially not without any power in your build really right now. Other than the Gladiator Shield, the 15 physical power that it gives, it's really just not enough for him right now. I understand definitely going to double defense here, or triple defense even, but not this early on without any sort of real bulk or pen to him. I mean, she doesn't have any protections yet, but he still needs power online regardless. You can't just rely on the protections alone, especially once he gets that Executioner online. But yeah, she's still squishy because she's like maybe out of respect not going defense, to be honest.
Does she need it though? She's shredding through this Odin.
Yeah, but is she? I mean, this engagement's closer than you would think. And ooh, really nice blink. Cage. I mean, really nice cage, really nice blink. And I think he's gonna take a wow. I love that blink. That was fantastic. Put himself exactly in the position he needed. Body blocked her perfectly.
That was really nice play from Hypercarry Odin. Blinking exactly where the enemy was, getting those autos in. No escape from the HDD right there. But yeah, this is just down to HDD not building defense at this point. And really surprising to see he's got this far into his build, but he's corrected it. He sold the crit he was building into, and he looks like he's gone for a reverse split or an Union line right now.
So yeah, I wonder if that was more of just him trying to respect the Odin pick. Oh, this is scary. He might have stayed a little too long. Nah, I don't know if she'll be able to catch me. Well, she does get a lot of movement speed off of this, but no, not while she's autoing. So she actually slowed herself down there enough. But yeah, so I wonder if he was doing that more out of respect, or if this is because he's not much of a Duel player. You know, I'm not sure about H Diddy, his background in Duel, because this is like it seems like a very popular Conquest build right now too, especially Aussie being implemented here, and you know, obviously no defense is always the case in Conquest for ADCs, so that could definitely be what it is as well. If so, good adaptation on his part to recognize, hey, I actually in this scenario I absolutely need the defense.
But Hypercarry Odin is countering this with a Titan's Bane of but hold that thought, Cage comes out and just responded to by an ult by HDD.
Good, I'm glad to see the Titan's Bane finally coming out here.
Yeah, it's great pickup, great into that.
Yeah, and he doesn't need like a Jotun's. He's already got a good amount of cooldown off of the breastplate and the Gladiator shield. Not quite full yet, but he would in fact overcap with the Jotun's right now, given the 10% from the Gladiator shield as well. And the Titan's Bane just going to be giving more pen overall too, so it just makes the most sense. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Hypercarry Odin did miss his bird bomb right there, but his cooldown is actually pretty low at the moment. That cooldown reduction coming in handy, and he's doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, he is the only tier 2 defense there for H Diddy. We'll see if that damage stays relevant once she finishes that item, but I'm surprised to see how much damage he's able to do here, even into just that tier 2 item, because it takes... it takes a lot for Odin to be able to still hit that hard going into the late. Generally, his ability damage falls off incredibly hard. He's just really holding a steady lead here. Spectral Armor was the item picked up actually by HDD.
Exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't think of even exactly why he'd want to do that. He wants him to, after the bird bomb, be feared, I guess, but... I don't have much faith in Spectral. I feel like it's so cheese. She took the Gold Fury very quickly, which is something Jing Wei actually has very quick access to, obviously, because of her her flight, being able to just go straight over to that thing as soon as she backs. So she's backing, getting all her health and the itemization that she needs, then going straight over to that. And yeah, it's so tough to counterplay without ward coverage. Sometimes even if you do have ward coverage, she's gonna get there, like twice as fast as you. So.
Well, we criticized Hypercarry Odin's build for not having a lot of power, and he's decided to go for a Transcendence right now. He's going to have plenty of power coming up.
Yeah, see, and like in this position, the Spectral has already been used, and look, like what good did it do for him? Like a Nemean Lion in this case would be so much more effective.
I really wish HDD would start attacking in auto attack range from the Odin. He's a ranged character. He needs to use his range.
Yeah, that's giving a lot of trouble. And wow, Hypercarry Odin, man, just playing these engagements so well. I'd love to see the positioning that he's employing and just, a true mastery of this character. It's so strange to see he's going Transcendence, last item here, which is, something you'd never really expect. I guess he figures he doesn't need that much more pen, given that he's fighting into only single defense. And he doesn't have much raw power to begin with, but I still think that, I don't know, I still feel like the pen is better here, but that might just be me. Mostly because, like, pen for the sake of pen here, it's pen in general very, very strong, but let's think of his pen options. Jotuns would overcap him, so he doesn't want that, but Brawlers would be very good here, given the Aussie and the Aussie proc on the passive. So I still think that would be the best idea, but we'll see. Maybe this Transcendence, maybe it's something that I'm overlooking.
Yeah, this feels like they think I'm not going power. I'm going to change that. I'm building myself the most powerful item I can.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No power in the build all the way until the last two items are Titan's Bane, Transcendence. Oh, now that's awkward, but he was able to get the cage out before he dashed. That's good, because at least he forces out the ultimate.
Yeah, but the special armor coming slightly in handy there, I guess. I guess that's what he wants, but not as effective as, I don't know, as you think. He got the proc, he feared him for a moment, but he still had time to get the cage in, so I don't really see the point of this item. It doesn't seem that effective.
The Spectral?
Yeah, the spectrum.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's really just overrated. But a lot of people like it against just people that are either like blinking in on you or like Loki's and shit. Like Loki, I kind of see because especially if he like tries to invis really quickly and it fears him out of it. But that's rarely the case. Kind of what happens even with Loki is he ults you and the passive will proc, and it does. He's CC immune during that because you know you can't affect him while he's doing it. So yeah, it's kind of just it's an awkward item in my opinion. But there are some places where it's like super strong, especially tier. Tier can't do anything against that item in some positions.
So
But,
Phantom
yeah.
Veil was used right there to escape the ult, and
Yeah, exactly.
right now HDD has no escape from the ultimate. Right now, his ultimate cooldown is not up, his actives are not up. So look for Hypercarry Odin to get this next ult on point to end the game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see H-Diddy not having any sort of offensive actives in this case. You know, no Shield of Thorns, no horrific emblem of his own. Just going straight up for the defensive ones, and it should work out for him as long as he's playing to his character's strengths. As you mentioned, the positioning hasn't been the greatest, and I think that's really been his weak point here.
Yeah, I really would like to see him try and kite the Odin a little bit more. Use his dash when the Odin jumps in, and then try and keep him at bay with ranged autos. There's no point fighting a melee character at melee range when you're an ADC. It just doesn't make any sense. If you can, you want to fight them as far away as possible, and that's what I want to see Haitian try and do right now.
Oh, again.
Nice cage.
Yeah. It's good that he keeps getting these cages out before she reacts to just dash. Because, you know, if she does get that fear off and he uses the cage too late, then it's fantastic for her. She expended his cage without having to even use her ultimate. But that hasn't been the case. Hypercarry Odin's been reacting very quickly, more quickly than Diddy has in these situations, and has just been capitalizing each time, making sure that it's at least that 1-for-1 trade. And maybe, I guess, even 1-for-2, given that her passive proc on the Spectral is gone. But this is the hardest part for any warrior, is just trying to take down this goddamn Titan in against a ranged character, or against any character that has like a ton of damage they can pile onto you as well. Gods that have good clear that they can't just force the creep wave into. And Jing Wei doesn't have the greatest clear, but she's an ADC, so she's safe, and she's got lifesteal. Oh, he's got the Aegis. Horrific him. Oh, wow. He was not able to find anything there, unfortunately. But he does get a decent amount of damage onto the Titan. Unfortunately for him, as is unfortunate with anyone trying... Uh-oh.
She's flying in.
Yeah.
She's flying
He's
in.
got to keep running. Yeah, good slow. Make sure to get the hell out of there. Very quick reaction.
Lucky she landed right into a fire wave, because otherwise that was a dead Odin.
Yeah, that was the luckiest fire wave ever. That was really good. He made sure to position himself within it too, but you know, God forbid that fire wave wasn't there. He was absolutely done skis.
So Jing Wei finishes up her build with a chin size. I like this. I think it just goes perfectly with Jing Wei's kit. She's a very auto attack based guard, so perfect synergy there.
Yeah, same here. Only thing I would rather see than the Executioner was great for the early game. I'd love to, because you know she was fighting into the defense but needed the attack speed as well, so you wouldn't want to rush a Titan's Bane then. But now I think the best thing to do is to sell the Executioners, get the Titan's Bane for all that defense she's fighting into, and that with the chin size would probably be the optimal build.
Yeah, I agree. Or if she wanted a lot more extra pen, she could sell the Iqval for Titan's Bane as well, just to get that.
That's true, yeah. I'm never sure how that goes up against the Executioner interaction with the Titan's Bane. Like, if you're going to go all three of them anyway, it's like, it's kind of weird.
I do believe XC plus Titans is, although the items do contradict each other slightly, it is more effective.
Ooh, he is
a lot
just
of
trying
damage
to
from that,
tank
yeah.
this out, but he had an ace in the hole with that shield.
That shield.
Oh my god, he didn't realize. H-Diddy was just like, what is this man doing? I can take this. I thought so too, but the shield cooldown, with all the cooldown reduction he had, he was just able to get that shield out and was saving, or not saving it, but yeah. Oh yeah, I have no idea why. He absolutely could have taken that. That should have been game. And I was mad too that we were like talking through the end of the game, but it didn't. No. Yeah, and he might even give up Phoenix here. All right, nah, he should be able to get there in time, especially he's got a blink. If I were him, I'd blink over there like ASAP, but actually, you know, he's got it either way, it seems.
Minions are doing a lot of damage,
Yeah.
but the Phoenix has respawned.
Oh my god, the almost throws, but with so much damage here now, there's no way that she can stop him.
The Titan is extremely low. If Hypercarry Odin did want to, he could just focus the Titan, but it looks like he's fighting. Oh,
He
comes
could
out,
just
but
dive bomb that thing right now, but I guess maybe a little bit more health. It's always deceiving, the mini-map view of it versus the actual in-game, but here it goes. He's going for both. He wanted the 2 for 1, and he got the Titan. That was it. Hypercarry Odin, what a phenomenal Odin game. That Transcendence in the late there is definitely, I mean, like I said, I think it was questionable given what else he could have gone, but Transcendence is a fantastic item in the late as well because he's still building off of all the mana that he's built in his kit with both the Nemean and the breastplate as well. So, you know, it's a strong power. Well, obviously, one of the strongest, if not the strongest, power item in the game, regardless. So it was a good pickup for him, and he did really well with everything that he aimed to do in that game.
yeah, Hypercarry Odin living up to his name. Really well played. GG.
Best Odin. Except for mine.
Of course.